Court Reporters, welcome back to my channel. If you watched the trailer for that new Teen Mom Next Chapter hybrid show that they're launching, then you saw and you know already that Jenelle Evans is going to make at least a little bit of a cameo. Now, if you're anything like me, you assumed that like they just filmed her entering the thing. We might see her like say hi to Briana, maybe a little something, but not much, because remember, MTV fired her after her husband opened fire on their family dog, right? So I thought that they would be upholding that, but Briana, in an interview with Page 6, spilled some tea about how much of Janelle we should expect to see on that new show. At the very least, like she might be downplaying it and she might be overplaying it. I don't know, but she did spill some tea, so let's get into it. So today's dress, you guys, is from Italy. When I was staying in Nice for that week or something like that, I went down to Italy because it's only like an hour by train or something like that, and I found this over there. WestJet lost my baggage, so they bought it for me. Now, let's get into the tea that Briana spilled. So she said that when Janelle came to the party, they talked on camera about Janelle's life, where she's at right now, what she's up to, is she thriving? Spoiler alert, she's in the swamp, she's not up to anything, and she is certainly not thriving. Sorry, that sounds so mean, but it's the truth, right? Like her life really went downhill ever since she got booted off the show, and she's just way too stubborn to admit it. So that is the very least of what we're going to be seeing of Janelle on the show. And mind you, the interviewer asked Briana, so like, why was it Janelle that was there? Like, was there a particular reason? Is it because she's also not getting along with Kail? And Briana lets it be known that she actually did invite all of the girls. It's just Janelle was the only one thirsty enough to show up to that party. It's really funny how in the interview, Briana claims that the victory party was not like a bashing party or something like that, but like she had these balloons talk about bye ho, and then she was like saying like some derogatory things about Kail, like just dissing her and stuff. I feel like it's okay to admit, like I wanted to have my victory party for pure victory reasons because this was stressful, like she said. And I also wanted to clown this girl who thought that she was gonna win, and she thought that she was going to, you know, make my life miserable because I spilled the true tea on something. Like, I think it's okay. Like, she deserved at that moment to hate on Kail, in my opinion, and bash her for that. If someone threw a frivolous lawsuit like that at me and I had to pay for a lawyer and spend time away from my family or friends or whatever to deal with it, I would be bashing them. I would be dragging them in my victory party, okay? And I feel like Brie is totally on that, but she wants to like play innocent or PC about it. So now, let's just get back into the Janelle situation. Can we talk about, again, she's the only castmate who bothered to show up, who was thirsty enough to show up. And it's just so funny considering on one of her seasons at the show, when she was really being difficult with producers, she's like, listen, I don't even have to do this. Amazon and Netflix are fighting over me. I could leave you guys any minute and go with them. And now look where we are all these years later. First of all, she used to claim, oh, like MTV is holding me to a contract. That's why I'm not with Amazon or Netflix yet. And then she was doing this big countdown for when her contract ended, like this holding contract where she couldn't sign with anyone else. And that ended years ago at this point. I think it's at least 2 years ago or a year and a half. And she still is Amazon-less and Netflix-less. And she is just settling for coming back to do a quick cameo on Teen Mom, the next chapter. Mind you, this is Teen Mom's last-ditch effort to make the show relevant again. The ratings have been in the toilet for the past several seasons. I think they were going as low as the 400,000s in terms of viewership, you guys. Like, it really has, what do you call it? Like, flown over the cuckoo's nest. That means crazy, but it's past its pasture, out to pasture, or something like that. Like, whatever the expression is, that's what I would apply to this show at this point. And so I think by them filming Janelle coming back, because sometimes when people get fired from a show and they come back to these big cast parties, for example, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, how many times has Teddy, John Mellencamp's daughter, how many times has she come back to film, like, you know, at group events and stuff like that and not really been featured ever since she was fired? Like, we never see her talk. She's just there. You know what I mean? So they very well could have, and she didn't, get involved in half of this, well, anything close to what it is that Janelle has been involved with, right? So I feel like by not only allowing and featuring Janelle in the trailer, but then also having her film a one-to-one scene with Briana, I think the executives are really starting to think about potentially bringing her back. We all know Janelle is a train wreck that a lot of people love watching and snarking on and criticizing and just judging and just, being entertained by. And we also know that MTV has been very fearful of her psychotic husband, David, right? So I think at this point, they're kind of trying to balance, like, what do we do? Do we give the producers and the cameramen bulletproof vests when we go out to film Janelle? Like, they did try the whole filming her outside of the house or away from David, but David is just so pressed. This man, who's supposed to be the most masculine man of all men, is so jealous of his wife being a star of a show called Teen Mom that he won't let her film and make her money in peace if he can't be involved in Teen Mom. That guy is such a bitch, you guys. He's such a little bitch. Oh my God, like, it's insane to me. The fact that he does not even have the brains to be embarrassed by his behavior and his jealousy of his wife. Like, David, get your own job. Like, go do something, with your life, because it's just embarrassing. Like, the amount of money that he lost that family over the years. Like, even if she gets signed again, they'll never get back those hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years that they lost because of him. So there was also a little bit of like other tea being spilled on the show. So Leah, she kind of indirectly confirmed of her friendship breakup with Kail Lowry. So the interviewer asked her like, hey, like, with everybody getting together a little bit more, something about like, would you have liked to have like done that with Kail so that you guys could repair your broken friendship? And she doesn't deny that they have a broken friendship. She just like gives a very like presidential answer talking about, oh, like, I wish Kail the best, blah, blah, blah. And then she says that she's got a very fulfilled life with her family and stuff like that she's got going on, her work. And then the guy then asked, were you upset to hear that Kail did not sign up to do the show again? Well, to do this show, this version of the show. And she says that at the end of the day, it is Kail's decision. Kind of like, I don't give an F-U-C-K sort of thing. So yeah, I guess that's friendship is dead in the water and has no real chance of resurrecting. Honestly, I wouldn't say that though. I think they could be friends again in the future. I think that Leah's just trying to be cautious because Leah didn't even really say anything. She didn't say anything against Kail on Teen Mom Family Reunion. Kail was just like mad that like Leah did not put herself at odds with the other girls just so that she could be an extremely loyal friend to her. Honestly, people like that are so toxic. Like people who are like, you can't be friends with these people because I'm not friends with these people, blah, like just grow up. You know what I mean? Grow up. I think Leah made the right decision to kind of just like not like excommunicate her, but just like let her fade herself out. You want to be upset with me for doing my job and not having like issues with people just because you have issues with people? Go ahead, that's fine. I can move on with my life. I think Leah made the right decision. And lastly, Cheyenne mentioned that she is going to be filming her wedding planning for the show. She's dancing around when the guy asked, will the actual wedding be featured or whatever? She's like, everyone keeps asking me. Cheyenne, we know that wedding is going to be featured. Stop it. Like, you don't even need to hint at it. Like, we know how thirsty you are for that MTV spotlight, and that's not a diss, it's just the truth. She's thirsty, okay? So of course it's going to be filmed. An interesting tidbit about the wedding is that she says that her parents are the ones who are paying for the wedding, which actually got me thinking and wondering, like, do you think her parents also paid for her ring? Because we all know that scammer fiance of hers does not have a job. And that was an expensive ass ring, right? Anyway, guys, that is a little bit of updates about what to expect on that new Teen Mom show. Will you be watching? I'm still on the fence. I'm just so over these people and just like their lives not really progressing all that much, like in a positive direction. Like it's rolling forward, but like, is it thriving forward? No. and they just keep making the same decisions over and over and over again. It really is kind of like Groundhog's Day with them. So I'm also kind of curious, will you at least be tuning into that episode that Janelle's going to be featured on to hear her talk about her life after the show in her own words? Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.